Welcome back to our video lectures for our subject Specialization 3, Community Development Planning. For today, we'll be talking about the different approaches in ComDev planning. We all know that there are a lot of different types of communities, which means that there will be different needs and requirements. This then gives us a lot of different approaches. Let's start with the most basic one, which is the community approach. The community approach is the most synonymous with the basic process identified as community development. This approach encompasses at least three distinctive features. Number 1, popular or broad-based participation. Number 2, community as an important concept. And number 3, the holistic nature of concern. The community approach is based on the participation of a cross-section of the people in a particular locality. This approach focuses on the concept of locality, which is a geographical base for participation. It is based on the interaction of people in a collective behavior and shared interests or concerns. The key word for this approach is participation. When you talk about participation, community development is concerned with all of the people in the community, and this concern requires the fullest participation of the people in the decision-making and action process. Participation means to share in common with others, and it also means to share in decision about goals and objectives about what should be done. The next approach is the Information Self-Help Approach, or ISHA. In this type of approach, the community is conceptualized as a systematic stream which precedes, surrounds, and continues after the information self-help approach occurs, meaning that projects are selective entities individuated out of a highly complex and changing situation. Participation is stressed not only because of its educative impact on those participating, but because it's believed that the knowledgeable layman and/or professional can contribute relevance and credibility to the process and outcomes of ISHA. ISHA also deals with a lot of variables which greatly impacts the effects of this approach. The first variable is participation. From the beginning, participation has been an indispensable feature in the practice and theory of community development. Participation leads to involvement, and involvement leads to a better understanding of process and issues. Other variables include the community dimension, the role of information, and the coping process. The community dimension refers to the number of people making up the size of the community. However, having a good community dimension doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have a lot of members involved. Instead, even with a few members, majority should be having the same decisions and views in order to have a majority status. So what are the advantages of ISHA? The advantages of ISHA is that it is financially economical method. It yields to better quality of production. It leads to important unintended outcomes which are highly educative in character, and it helps develop a sense of community. Having said that, there are also disadvantages of ISHA. The primary disadvantage that we can see in this kind of approach is the problem of motivation. Also, ISHA can too often end up by dealing with tasks of lesser importance. ISHA may seem slow in getting things done, and ISHA requires a level of sophistication in leadership. For the next, we have the special purpose problem-solving approach. This type of approach is based on a rational image of people who are capable of banding together for solving issues. There are 5 steps for this approach. The first one is problem identification. Just like any other problem-solving processes, it always starts with identifying what is the problem. The next step is resources mobilization. In this step, you check the available resources and check what is needed. This is then followed by program planning, wherein in this phase, you check everything from start to finish and incorporate the advantages and disadvantages. The fourth phase now is plan implementation or action, and in this phase, it is all about solving the problem and properly implementing the solution. Finally, you have to evaluate everything. In this step, you have to check everything, including effectivity and the feedback. We now have demonstration approach. In this approach, the demonstration approach involves the display of methods or results which may either be positive or negative. There are two types of demonstration approach. First is the method demonstration, and the second is results demonstration. Method demonstration is simply showing the community the methods that you do in the process, while results demonstration is simply showing the results. And that ends our video lecture for today. Thank you for listening. See you in the next video lecture. Thank you.